Hello everybody and welcome to Love Live Nijigasaki High School Idol Club episode 11 anime review. So damn, things got real quick, didn't they? Yes, they did. So we spent the majority of this episode, just trying to get the festival approved, which hey, makes a lot of sense. You got to do actual work for it. Don't know how they're gonna, make an agreement with all those venues to be like, hey, we'll bring. Is it free? Like, what are those logistics of setting up the School Idol Festival? I want to see the budget sheet. I want to see how much money they spent. I want to see this. But no, that's not why we're here. We're obviously here because Ayumu turned into a goddamn yandere. That's what happened. Anyone else get some real serious, Just Monica vibes from that? Because I most certainly did. That's what I'm going to use for the title, actually. That's a good one. But yeah, it was another solid episode. I presume we're going to get the friendship ending, so to speak, where Yu's going to be like, Ayumu, you're still my best friend. She's going to be like, I wanted to tell you the thing I hadn't told anyone else, but you didn't want to hear it. So I reckon that they'll reconcile and they'll be best friends again. And then they'll all be friends. And there'll be a group hug, probably. But you know how this goes. That's probably how it's going to go. But anyway, that's the future. For right now, let's get into the episode and see exactly how everything went down and do this thing. The episode opens up with Yu and Kasumi going to the student council to give them their, their request form. Basically, we want to hold this big old event. Here you go. Slight problem there, lasses. You didn't actually fill it out properly. You basically just put, we want to do an event. You haven't put the venue. You haven't put exactly what you're doing. You haven't put who's involved. Kind of figure you should have put more stuff down than that. But thankfully, they have Setsuna there discreetly helping them out. We have the noob, I think she was the vice president, who didn't know anything about school idols, and Setsuna was discreetly like, here's what they do. And they're like, man, you sure know a lot. And she's like, yeah, well, I'm this council president. I gotta keep up on this stuff, And meanwhile, Kasumi and Yu are just looking there nervously, oh god, are they on to us? They give them a list of things, does the council, to say, here's what you gotta do to get it approved. You can find the venue, get things from the other schools, go at it, go to town, have fun, sort it out, and it'll get approved. They are not the enemy. It's not like in the original series where the school idol, the student council was really against, doing the school idol stuff until they weren't, basically. We're super against it, and then they're like, actually, no, that looks like fun, we're going to do it too. And then they're all for it, obviously. But no, here they're, I would say I don't want to use the word realistic because I hate that word, but, they're responsible, but they're like, yeah, we ain't got no reason to stop you, but, you got to fill this out properly, which is good. But, Yu and Kasumi are like, well, things are going to get busy, it's going to get hectic, let's do this. A bit later on, the club meets up to discuss, basically, the events, the outcome of the meeting. We got to work together, figure out the venue, we'll do that first. So they all go to a bunch of different venues. I and them get up on the stage. Kasumi says it's too far away from the audience. Kanata falls asleep because that's kind of what she does. They check out a bunch of places. I said there's a montage, so to speak. Kasumi thinks the first place where they were meant to do their original first concert before they had their old fight, that she wants to do that. They all want to go different place. Shocker, they don't agree. They want to do different things, and Yu is like, yep, as usual, you guys are not on the same page. They don't need to be on the same page. That's the whole point. But man, it makes finding a venue hard, so to speak. After that, Yu and goes to a meeting with some other girls. Ayumu sees her off and looks all forlorn, as she tends to do when Yu goes to do things without her. She has a meeting with a few other of the club members. I think Setsuna was there, Karen was there, and one other person who I can't remember who it was. It was probably Kasumi, right? I can't remember. But they meet with the other two schools that we've seen before. The Kanata sister and the one that is simp for Karen. I hate that word. Why do I use it? But no, they're there. Karen does some big old flirting with the girl and knocks her unconscious, basically. I think that's fair to say. But, after explaining the idea of the School Idol Festival to them, both of those other schools are like, hey, we'll check with everyone. But we're on board. I'm just going to let you know, if nothing goes wrong, we are 100% on board with this plan. So they've got a lot of the stuff sorted out, which is good. However, they don't have a venue yet. Kasumi, with her brilliant big brain, has got a genius idea. It's the Kasumine box. You know, like those, you know, like the bully box? That's what we had at school. We had the bully box. If you were being bullied, you put it in the box. And they sort it out, but, you know, that's not how... It's like, yeah, it's like a suggestion box, basically. That's what it is. However, doesn't have any answers in it, because it's school holidays, and who the hell wants to come into school on the school holidays? You couldn't have paid me enough during my school holidays. Kasumi, upon realizing that nobody has left her any messages, goes and gives you a big old hug, you know, cries into her chest, the whole shebang, and Ayumu is just seething in the corner like, that's my waifu, Kasumi, I will end you. No one will find the body. She's really a yandere at this point. The longer this is going on, the more she's scaring me a little bit. I puts on a bit of paper onto the box to say basically, hey, give us places, what kind of festival do you want? And then Kasumi's all like, but my face, you covered my face on the machine and everything. Rina, of course, being the smart one, and remembers that this is 2020 and the internet exists and we should probably, you know, promote this thing beyond just our school, decides, hey, I'm going to make a website and promote it on the online. Big props to Rina for having a brain. That's what I'm going to go with. I don't want to be too harsh, but surely the internet should have been the first place you thought to put it on. But hey, maybe that's just me. She gets cookies from her friends, you remember, those other 3 girls who I don't know their names. She gets cookies from them and everything, which is good. Originally, didn't want them to spread the word because she didn't want to get them too excited. Because, you know, hey, technically, we're not approved yet. We can't, you know, go promising things, you know, when they might not happen. That's the, what was his name? Oh God, that's the, is it Phil Fish? The guy who made Fable, who said, like, the acorn would grow. That's not how that works. It's promising too much. But then, on second thought, Rena's like, nah, sod it, tell everyone, man, we're not going to make this a failure, so, you know, have at it. You're making promises you might not be able to keep. I'm sure they will keep it, because this show doesn't ever get down in the dumps too much, so they're going to do great, I'm sure of it. The others are building up their stamina out on a run. Ayumu sees you and is going to be like, oh, hey, you, how are you? Haha, get it? But no, then she sees you go off with Tetsuna by herself, and sad Ayumu is sad a lot. She's like, oh, my heart, she's being stolen from me. Ayumu falls asleep at school because she was waiting for you to finish with her meeting or whatever it was she was doing. It was just filling out the paper, I think. And then, yeah, you comes to find her and they, like, gaze into each other's eyes, you know? I'm not one of those people. Believe it or not, I'm not one of those people that does all this shipping. But you watch the episode. Like, I don't feel like I'm adding nothing to this or seeing things where there aren't. They're just straight up doing that. That's just what I think. Whatever. Waited for you to finish work so they could walk home together. And they on their walk home, it's kind of awkward, you know? It's not like full on awkward, but it's kind of like neither of them are really talking. Neither of them, like, Ayumu says, oh, Setsuna not walking to us. And you're just like, well, no, she's working. She's like, ah, I see, you know? And then it just gets a bit quiet and it's just like, it's a little bit awkward, this. They got to figure out a venue that's best for everyone, of course, because, you know, all different opinions, all want to do their own different shows. Got to pick something that's best for everyone. And at this point, I had an inkling they were going to do what they were going to do, but in my brain, I was still in the not denial phase, but the phase like, that's not going to work, you know? Realistic, you know? Screw realism. That was me throwing realism out the window. Kasumi runs in the next day and is like, just before their meeting with the student council, is like, guys, the Kasumine box is full, and it is full. It's overflowing, in fact, it's so full. Yeah, they haven't wrote the venue down on their sheet for the student council because it turns out, due to these loaded messages from, I think it was one from the basketball club, the cookies from before, obviously, that's in there too, they decide, this ain't just going to be one concert. No, 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 no. We're going to do what we said we were going to do, a festival, which means all the venues. We're going to perform at all the venues. Everyone's going to be able to go wherever they want, and it's going to be great, except all over the city. Like, I've never actually been to a concert, but like, the stages aren't too far away, are they? You know, they're within walking distance. I don't know how big. Is it Tokyo they're in? They're in Tokyo, right? Tokyo is pretty big. I assume Tokyo is bigger than a festival ground. I think that's a fair assumption. So that's a lot of walking. Although they probably got trains, like subways. Never mind. Yeah, maybe they could do that. See? Why am I thinking of this so logistically? Like, what's wrong with me? I'm putting more thought into this than to anything I did at school, which is maybe yeah. Maybe that's who cares? Do good at school, kids. It will help you in the long run. Yeah, the school council agree to this. They're like, yeah, you can do all the venues. I'm like, you have to rent the venues, right? You have that much money to rent all those venues, and are you charging tickets sales? You're going to bring in some money. I'm asking the real questions here. I need to know this stuff. That one girl, by the way, the one who didn't know anything about school idols, in the week it's been since, she's fallen in the school idol rabbit hole. She is a big fan of Setsuna, which is very funny because, of course, she sat right there next to them. And I think Kasumi had this brilliant look on her face when she was just like that. Almost, they think her identity might be revealed, but then she's like, "Are you a fan too? Because you were speaking so passionately, and we can go to concerts. It's gonna be great." And I just imagine Setsuna having to turn down her friend every time she asks to go to a concert. Cause she's like, "Well, that's me. I can't go watch because I'm there. Are we gonna get Setsuna like going with her friend?" And then running to go change, and then coming back once the concert's finished? Are we going to do that? I could see them doing that, obviously. I hope we get a second season where they do that, just for that one bit. That's all I want. So to celebrate them getting the School Idol Festival organised and everything, that was very quick, honestly. I figured they'd have a lot more trouble than that, but hey, good stuff. They're all helping out, they're all celebrating. Other people are going to help out. The basketball club wanted to help out. The cookie people as well, they want to help out. Ayumu, while they're all talking, they're all having fun, Ayumu is just sadly staring at her, longingly, like, oh, why have things come to this, She goes to buy a drink, does Ayumu. Setsuna goes with, and when Setsuna says she'll go with, Ayumu just gets this look on her face like, God damn it, why? I don't want to talk to you right now. Like, it's not her fault, but it's just like, I'm projecting all my anger on you at the moment. Yeah, she asked what they were doing at camp. Remember when they were hugging, and that that happened. And then Ayumu didn't know she can play piano either. She's like, I didn't know she could play piano. Why do you know something I don't know? I'm supposed to be the best friend. Oh my gosh, what's happening? This is pretty bad. She walks off, not even in a huff, just like all sad. And Setsuna looks like, well, that was kind of weird. Why would she do that? That's very un-Ayumu-like. Something going on? Maybe I should tell you or someone about this, but maybe not. It's probably nothing. It is not, in fact, probably nothing. It's actually quite a big deal. So Ayumu gets home and flops on her bed, which is always a sign that someone is in a state. She's gutted because there's a part of you that she doesn't know. Because I guess they were best friends forever, as we know. She figured she knew everything, but maybe not. Yu then calls Ayumu over. Probably, I mean, obviously she didn't know she was in such a state, but yeah, pretty bad timing, I think it's fair to say. Ayumu sees the piano when she goes in, and Yu is just like, oh yeah, I've been practicing that, kind of brushes it off almost, like, and Ayumu's like, oh, so it's not, I'm not important enough to be told about it. She's like, is Setsuna more important to you because she knows about that and I didn't? And Yu's just like, no? Like, Yu must be really confused. She's just like, no, there's nothing to do with it. I wanted to tell you about my thing, different thing I want to tell you about. And it's like, okay. She was going to tell her about how, she's got a dream now. Before you can tell her about her dream that she has, Ayumu just decides to spear her onto the bed. It was quite high, actually. It's a tackle of some description onto the bed, and Yu, like, hugging her neck, and Yu is just like, oh, this is, And then Ayumu turns, she's like, I wanted to be a school idol just for you, and then she says, like, you will belong just to me, and I'm like, that's yandere-ish, You could say, like, it's just because, she's got a load of friends now. That's yandere behavior right there, Ayumu, Like, you're up there right now with Yunogasai. Like, you don't want to be like that, okay? It's pretty scary, Ayumu. I don't know how they're going to get out of this. Presumably, Yu is just going to be like, hey, you're my best friend, but I got other friends too. Like, that's kind of where it's at. I have no idea where we're going here. I presume we're going to spend most of next episode, I'm going to call it moping, Yu's going to be confused, Ayumu's going to be moody, everyone else is going to be like, what the hell happened? But yeah, that was where we ended the episode. safe to say things are gonna, we're gonna have a bit of drama, and then we're gonna end things with a high note. Probably everyone will perform at the concert together, and it'll be great. But yeah, that was where we ended this week's episode. Let's check out what my favorite part of the episode was. I mean, I don't know if I've made it obvious, but it might be. Who knows? Let's check it out. So my favorite part of the episode is actually just the whole everything they did with Ayumu towards the end, like how miserable she was talking to Setsuna, to her eventually, like a little freak out at you, but then it looked like she was coming back because you was like, no, that's not it at all, and it's like, oh, smiles, and then. But then, flipped again. Ayumu's like, no, you're mine. You can't have your own dream. You were meant to follow me with my dream. And it's just like, damn, I feel like they did something similar with Yo in Sunshine, but it wasn't nearly this yandere-ish. Like, it wasn't nearly, like, that one felt more like, hey, this is like a friend that's jealous that, they're not the only friend anymore. But this is like, my wife was being stolen from me. That I feel like if you play them next to each other, maybe I'm remembering wrong, but damn, it feels more yandere-ish. I think that's just me though, maybe. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, subscribe and stuff, more reviews, that helps me out a lot. I don't know what accent that was. Let me know what you think of Yandere Ayumu. Is it going to inspire many fan comics? I hope it does. I hope it does indeed. But for right now, I will see you next week for another episode of this. So take care and bye, guys.